Greetings, one and all, to your weekly dose of 10 o'clock. I am your regular face, Facebook Face, and this is your other host, Hosty McHost Host.
Boaty
McBoat. Okay. So, Xeno and Loz, as usual, episode 320 of 10 o'clock. Yes. And we're here to talk about not Railjack, because Railjack only came out the day before, well, technically today, in terms of recording this episode, and we don't want to jump the gun with everything that's happening with Railjack, because things are going to change, right? DE are going to change various different things. There's no point in talking about it now, because even you guys haven't had enough time to experience it and can't get a good, solid opinion of it, regardless of the fact that it's a little bit buggy. Right, so ignoring that, we're going to be talking about various different things. But as always, first things first, emblems. Thank God I actually changed these. I actually just had a terrible thought that I didn't. Right, so this is between Loz and I. Loz, what are your thoughts?
I like my one. I don't think mine is as detailed as yours, like in quality. I think mine's a little bit blurry on the image when I saw it. Yeah. However, I don't like the sort of weird double lotus on yours, the lotus emblem, as in the two of them off angle. I just think I don't get, like, okay, if I blur my eyes and just look at the lotus bits, right? I think, is it like a raccoon going like,
Yeah.
Or do I just look at the top and then I'm like...
Well, I think into consideration that this is at an angle. It's not as straight on as yours is.
No, I can appreciate that. No, but cool. It's still like, then I've got some weird double shape.
Yeah. To be honest, I like yours more, mostly because of the inclusion of Lua, you know? I was like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. Mine's a sacrifice one, which is not something I normally like, but it's all right. I think they didn't need the little spikes, to be honest. They could have just sat with just they could have expanded by a little bit, the ring bit.
Yeah.
And it's circular bit, made a bit more detailed, would be really nice. It's the tree, and then they're in the background. It's cool.
Yeah. So if you wish to win 150 platinum, go into the description below. You'll find a link to a Google form, which will include this week's glyphs, emblems. These week's emblems. Moving on. And if you select the one you like the most, you'll be entered into a chance of winning 150 platinum in probably about a month's time now, because DE will be closing up shop relatively soon, and you know they're not going to.
Just for anyone who's not aware, or if you're new to Warframe, so January. A bit of a dead month for Warframe.
Well, it's more a case of the Christmas shutdown, but
it is. It's a Christmas shutdown, but I do feel that they're not like it doesn't take them like a week to get going in January. It
takes them about a month. Loz is having a little bit of a technical issue with his internet connection.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
messing up again.
Yeah. So you were saying it takes them about a month.
It takes about a month.
Yeah. So, right. Make sure that you put in your in-game alias. Make sure it's correct. Make sure that you spelled it correctly. Make sure you choose the right platform, because if DE can't find you, that's 150 platinum that will either go to someone else or may end up not going to anyone. So, right. Next thing's next. Cards. I'm feeling cards. Loz is currently playing with cables. May have we don't know why. Loz is currently having internet issues, and periodically it just craps out for him for a few seconds. So we're going to see how this episode goes. So it might be a little bit janky to begin with, and then we'll have to, or if it's just pure jank the entire time, we may end up having to re-record the episode after finding out how to de-jank it. The jankifying. It's a real thing. Honest. Right, okay, so waiting for Loz. This is where I want to turn to you and say, so how's your day going? But it's not like I can actually hear you. Oh, we got Loz back. Cool.
Unplug this.
for anyone just listening, Loz is holding up, what, about 15, 20 meters of, what is that? Is that a USB cable?
Yeah, that's the USB cable I use to extend the USB dongle down there as far as possible.
Right. See what happens.
Oh, I wonder if it's the cable. I'm just sick of it. It's been like I've just been having connection problems for the last few days. Yeah. And I thought, let's plug it into the computer, see if it's the cable, see if it's the adapter. This cable that whole setup cable system I used for the 24 hours on Fortuna, no issues. I've been using it for it, but in the last 4 or 5 days, I've been having issues. I don't know if it's the cable.
How hot is the repeater? I see you have a repeater in that setup.
Yep.
How hot is it? Cold. Meh.
No, not even warm at all. No heat in there at all. I don't know if I've had that for about a year and a half now, so about a year and a bit. So I don't know if it's just dead.
He is hoping. Right. Okay. So moving on. Cards. That was it. Cards. Moving on. Right. So first off, shout out to Zrugel. Zrugel gets a point. Shout out to Zrugel because he suggested.
Okay.
No, this is justified.
Okay.
Last week, Zrugel mentioned or suggested why not do a advertisement within the shoutouts for 10 o'clock to fill in the cards. Last week I actually did that as part of the Twitter text, and as a result we've gone up about 10 votes per question, if not more. So, worthy of a point.
Your criteria is acceptable.
My criteria is acceptable. Right. You gotta write it down.
Yeah.
Good man. Right, so moving on. This week, cards. So the first card we asked was, would you like an increased field of view? 68 people responded. 2% said no. Kind of surprising. Kind of thinking these are people being antagonistic. 47% said don't care. Expected. And 50% said yes. Did we have any comments saying why people have voted on what?
Which one are we on? The first one?
The first one. Would you like an increased field of view?
Didn't say anything about that.
Cool. So I think I'm in for increased field of view only for like super widescreen monitors and things like that. So
yeah, things have changed. I think it's something that the visual aspects of the game should have a look in. Maybe it could improve. Yeah.
Yep.
Next one.
Next card.
Yep.
And this is where we're using the
acronyms,
right? Should you be able to?
SYBAT, which means should you be able to?
Should you be able to trade Captura scenes or Samaris rep? 64 people responded. 18% said no, and 81% said yes. They're wrong. I'm pretty sure you were on the yes for this.
Yeah, I was waiting for the why to know. I think it's a pretty good. Yeah, why not? The only thing I was a bit umming and ahhing about it was for ones he gives you, or ones you find in the index. But
that's the whole point of why this was brought up, because they just came up like more than a dime a dozen.
Yeah, but you could be like, it's a unique, that's a unique pattern. I will have to study it carefully.
I mean, why not have it so that you get Samaris rep for killing specific enemies in the sanctuary because they are errors? Yeah?
You mean improving sanctuary onslaught?
Yeah.
Well, I don't need any other description. You said about adding or going back to fixing Sanctuary Onslaught, so you do not need to clarify the statement. It just wins.
Okay, cool.
Just yes. I think we should put something interesting and unique into Sanctuary Onslaught that's like a side objective, a bit like Focus, but for rep. That's like distracts you, and you're like, oh, shall I worry about my thing, or shall I go for that thing for rep? Yeah. I have to make a choice. I have to have interesting gameplay in Sanctuary Onslaught.
Yes. Right, moving on. Did you watch the dev stream? So this was dev stream 134. This was the one that we were talking about during the episode.
Yes.
68 people responded. 8% said no. 25% said yes, but later. And 66% said yes live.
Good to see. I think most of them, as you can see there, the majority of players appreciate the dev streams that DE do and pay attention to them.
And they release
that's obviously our players, but
yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then that's not me being bitter, right? So, and then
how do you feel about spaceships?
Are you genuinely asking me right now?
Yeah.
They are pretty damn cool. I'm not gonna lie, though.
You want to buy a keychain and a towel?
Was it a towel?
No, it's like a.
What do you mean keychain? I thought it was an air freshener.
You do get an air freshener as well. That one's just insulting. It's like, oh, and an air freshener. It's like, oh yeah,
no, but it's for your car. It's for your Railjack. Your real life Railjack.
I'm just really. It's not like 10 air fresheners or like a pack of different air fresheners. It's like one air freshener. I'm just like, that's just so cheap.
Yep.
The keyring though, I'm like, God damn that keyring. God damn the beautiful
keyring. What's the keyring look like? Is it actually a Railjack?
It's a Railjack about that big. I'm like, I should buy that, please.
Lol. Right. Where are we? Last.
Are you going to buy it?
Probably not. I need to save money.
I know. Yeah, and we've got a Prime access coming soon.
Well, I need to tell you about what my bank's doing. So
eating all your money, I'm sure.
Oh, trust me, it's so much worse. Right. So
how do you feel about Empyrean?
Yes, that was the last one. Wait, no. Shit, is that the first? Did I not fill that? Did I swap it back? Oh, I might have not put the last card in. This is where everyone's been staring at the card going like, Xeno.
How do you feel about Empyrean? You haven't put it. Oh, that system. I see.
Yeah, there we go. Right. How do you feel about Empyrean? 67 people responded. 11% said negatively. 28% said no opinion, and 59% said positively. I did a tweet about it not so long ago. We had 160 odd people respond, and that was similar numbers. It was, oh god, I think it was like 52% positive, but it was very reflective of what was happening here.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So, moving on. We'll see what happens with Patreon questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I can't scroll up. There we go.
Why can't you scroll up?
It was scrolling down every time I scrolled up. No, I don't know what happened. Fixed it now. Nick Evans, in the event of Christmas, how long will your break from Warframe likely be?
If I was to take a break from Warframe, it would be after Christmas. It wouldn't be during Christmas. And I will say, this is a shout out to watch the latest Framecast episode on Post Malone games. I ended up having a deep dive conversation with Michelle about this, and we I very much reflected on the idea that maybe I was a little too attached to what Warframe was doing and not too much allowing DE to, give them the freedom that they deserve to take the game in the direction that they want to. Because
is this of your obsession about the lack of a cinematic quest?
I think so.
Right.
So yeah, so go listen to that, go watch that. But I don't know. It depends entirely on how I feel at the end of Christmas. Christmas break, at least. Next question.
How much more unhappy would you be if it turns out that you cannot place any large decorations on the Railjack so that you can build a maze?
Wouldn't affect me.
I wouldn't care at all. It's not. I honestly don't think it should have any decorations, or if it does have decorations, they should be fixed in place ones, like a certain area you can put a few little things. This is not the set. This is not a personal space. This is a combat space.
But it is a personal ship.
Then it should be external decorations.
Yeah.
I don't care. You don't use the ship. This is an area you're going to be fighting inside the ship. I do not want to see. I don't want to be playing person. Okay, on a thematic point of view, it doesn't make sense because it's a working area. Secondly, I don't want to be like joining people's Railjacks trying to kill Grenier, and I can't see them because they filled the entire thing with. I don't know why my brain's gone for this, but giant tiki torch statues are everywhere because that was a thing in the game at the point, and now I can't see anything.
Here's a question: what's the term for the front of a ship?
Oh no, I just realised.
What?
I'm thinking about Firefall again.
Stop that.
I shouldn't. Yes, you're right. The bow?
Is it the bow? Bow's the front of it. Yeah, I think so. One thing that I would personally like with regards to Railjack is an arrow when you spawn tell you which way the bow is, because I always get that wrong. Like, I always go the wrong direction. I'm like, nope, this is not the bridge. I'm heading towards the engine room. The only thing I want. And even so, people are saying like, oh yeah, but there are lotus symbols engraved on the floor that tell you the direction. It's like, yeah, but I'm not looking down.
Yeah.
So, not a biggie, but something I would like. Right. Where are we now?
How much fun is it getting Vortex thrown down on a radiation hazard sortie?
Right. So I did a sortie. I've started doing the Nightwave stuff to catch up and everything. And there was a radiation hazard sortie playing with a random pubby Valban. And apparently you can get sucked into this Valban, into Valban's vortex if you are irradiated, or he is. Right? And literally it was myself and Rallance, friend of ours in our clan. And oh my lord, it was painful. We were stuck in there for longer than a scorpion dragging you along the floor. It was, we stand back up, no, back down. Stand back up, no, back down. And it was, painful. Moving on.
Fair enough. The next one is from Zrugal. And Zrugal says, face rig.
I think you find that's face rig with a question mark. Face rig?
Face rig?
No one asks a question. Anyway, not yet.
Zrugal never forgets. Well, it will happen. Probably not for a while. Do you think it's seeing as it's crazy? I remember the days that Xeno used to use face rig all the time because he didn't want to show his face, and I was like, "You fairy."
Well, I'm actually thinking more along the lines of I was an idiot, but
so yeah, but it's silly that now we're taking longer to use it than that. I think I convinced you not to use it quicker than we're being able to use it. Anyway,
well, I did try to set it up and everything. It was a horrible mess of trying to get it to pick up my face. Like, I chose the heavy from TF2, and it was constantly pushing its lower lip through its upper lip. And it just looked awful.
Maybe it's your beard.
Maybe
if you put like it seems what you are?
I'm not chopping off the beard.
I know, no. Maybe if you got like a green little dot and pop it there on your chin. Because obviously it won't see that, but it'll see it, but it won't replicate it. And
well, I think it's just that I can't see my lips.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get some green lipstick. Next question is from Zrugal again. Do you think it's a coincidence that Cephalon Sai looks like Quiet Shy's bandana mask? I did not see that before, but yes, it does.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think that's quite a coincidence. I think, seeing as they're made of geometric shapes, I think it was they just picked that. I don't think it was to do that.
I think it is Quiet Shy.
Okay. Drunk Paul says, should we be able to plug into our ships to give them our abilities? Think of Smite Infusion on your ship guns. Smite Infusion?
Smite Infusion is, what you call it?
The ability to give radiation damage to people, like you've got the Emberers and Frost that can chuck fire. And okay, that. I see. I don't know. I say no. I don't like this whole you can borrow one Warframe power from people thing. I didn't even quite get that. Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, I've heard this. I've not actually seen it for myself.
It was on the dev stream.
Yeah, I've not seen it for myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
I remember it being on the dev stream. And I don't know how that just seems weird to me. It goes back to the days where I remember back in my day, they'd be talking like about maybe giving us Warframe abilities that could be plug and play between Warframes of a common pool. However, they took that away. Took away the ability mods. Sad day. Yep. Yeah, so they years ago, they were considering giving us Warframes used to be mods, abilities we stuck in slots. And they were going to give us some common abilities that any Warframe could use. And they the idea went nowhere. And I don't like how now they're trying to add this kind of group ability thing. It's like it's diminishing what the Warframe you have is, and it's adding homogenization. It's adding another level of. In theory, I should enjoy it because it's adding a sort of group complexion and build section to it. But I believe it'll just be too min-maxed, and it'll just homogenize the whole game. Yeah. Drunk Paul. Oh no, that's Drunk Paul's question. Last question, sorry, it's 2 questions from Loomus. Question 1. I understand your concern for Archwing, but do you think it's possible that once they iron out the flaws for Railjack, they'll start working on Archwing? Balancing both at the same time would probably be difficult, so they are likely focusing on the big part of this whole thing, the Railjack, before focusing on integrating Archwing better, which is a good chunk, but not the biggest part.
Considering the fact that they've made all the arc guns projectile based.
Have they?
Yes, all of them. Right? So you were all about the Imperator, weren't you?
Yeah, I love the Imperator.
Yeah. Not anymore.
But it's so what's got travel time on the bullet?
Yeah, it's projectile based. All the hit scan weapons are now projectile based. Because I think the Railjack...
And how fast do they travel? They're like instant or no, that'd be
No. They are quite slow. Now, one thing we have found is that there are upgrades for the Railjack to improve your performance in Archwing. So one of which gives you 30% extra health and extra shields, right? As a perk to one of the specializations. I can't remember which one.
Right.
But so there could be further stuff. I don't know. Maybe there are mods and things. I mean, one mod that would be useful to that sort of situation is projectile flight time. So you could actually fire fast. Do you know about terminal velocity for rifles?
Yes.
You do?
But yes, yeah.
So,
but the thing is, I wanted them to make that change actually, so that it wasn't actually to make all weapons non-hit scan. It was just annoying that the sort of the sniper rifle one, the Velocitus, wasn't hit scan.
Yep.
And couldn't zoom. I wanted them to fix that one. It wasn't what I wanted. I'm gonna have to. This is interesting. I haven't had a chance to play. I'm still optimizing my download cache on the patch because it came out last night or this morning for us, really early.
This morning for us.
Okay. So yeah, I hadn't had a chance to play it. This sounds really interesting. I will be looking to give this a go. That sounds very worrying and concerning.
Yeah. So I think.
Well, because what was our big worry from last week? It was that the Archwing is just going to be diminished and used as transportation between yourself and the ships and wherever you're going. And if they've got travel time,
let's talk about this next week because we have.
I'm I worry that the Railjack's going to overpower them. The question he said from Loomis is the Railjack the important thing? And I think yes, but I think it'll be too important. Will they focus on Archwing later? Well, I don't know because I doubt it. Because if the Railjack works and it does the mission how they want, why bother making the Archwing competitive with the Railjack? That's what I worry about.
Yep.
Question 2 is, when Steve said they weren't going to change anything with liches, I think he just worded it badly. In prior statements, they have said that the Kuva lich system is just the early version and will be changed down the road. I think what Steve meant was they won't change the consequences of failing to kill a lich specifically. Also, I think he was also just in a bad mood. His age isn't the only reason for his greying hairs, probably, not to mention it's the holidays. Yes, I think, yeah. Steve in January is going to probably be a lot calmer than Steve in December, and obviously they've probably been working very hard to get this out to everyone, and they've done it, which is amazing, and they're probably working hard now to get it to cert. But I think as we said last week, it's odd that he hasn't seen the feedback, and if he hasn't seen the feedback, he doesn't seem to appreciate how important this question is to a large section of the community about liches, and I think that's a bit foolhardy to just give a non-correct answer on it. So I know what he means, actually, Loomis. Sometimes you do get that kind of question where Rebel put it to them and they're kind of thinking it more from a developer side, not a player side of how that problem should be addressed.
Yeah.
But I think this one, yeah, what do you think?
I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and everyone agrees that just being outright killed is too abrasive. It's too demoralizing to the gameplay flow. I think that, again, talking to a lot of people, there should be a lot of alternatives. So maybe there's one which is, the Kuvalich explodes, right? And that takes you out, but it's also taken out itself. There's another one where, as everyone's asked for it, you kill it, but it didn't actually die, and it gives you what's the name of the dang thing? A transmission window going like, you thought it was that easy to get rid of me.
Yeah, which was their intended thing. That's the thing I go back to. That was their intended design.
And you also came up with the whole QuickTime thing, so why can't we have that as well? Just mix and match it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it for the Patreon questions. Should we move on?
Yes. Community responses from last week.
Okay. Silik No Look says, also more bonus meme. Frosthawk 281 is also in favor of bonus meme. Thank you, you two people, because you proved to Xeno bonus meme is always important. Test 1049. I didn't quite get this one. Said 10 o'clock. And I'm like, yes, that is the pun that we have as the name of the show. Well done.
Yeah.
Quisescent.
Well, no, I think
Averine?
the previous statement was the fact that it's 10 o'clock is in two separate words, but it's like, it's not o'clock, it's 10-o and then clock.
10 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Anyway, quiescent Avery. Obviously, you know there's the OK Boomer joke. They said OK Skooma. I really feel that needs to be a meme. That needs to be a meme in Warframe.
Oh, that's
OK
awesome.
Skooma.
That's awesome. They get a point.
I agree. They can have a Xeno point. You're on -1 points, by the way.
For why?
I don't know. You don't.
No, you have to have reasons why.
Not for you. Not for you.
Jog on.
Benjamin.
Even when Alan Davis does badly, they know why.
No, they don't. Sometimes
yes,
they just they just give him negative points. It's like, oh, Alan.
No, I mean, like, they don't just give him negative points when he hasn't answered any questions during the entire show.
Yes. You don't know. Well, who knows? Anyway, moving on. Benjamin Kulandasamy. So what you... Oh, so there's a couple of these things. This is the Saren. So this is a bit of an anger against you. So what are you recommending as, instead of just nerfing Saren, they should recreate Sanctuary Onslaught around that one Warframe? Nothing they do, the Sanctuary Onslaught will fix the problems as long as Saren is as powerful as she is. Some people recommend that they should increase the amount of enemies spawning as well. That would make Saren even more powerful, because the only thing they can take her down seems to be running out of enemy spawning.
Wait, I'm
confused on that one, actually.
No, I'm in favor of nerfing Saren.
Right, well, I actually had some people the other way around. Thank you, Armena and Andel3025. Basically explaining how it wasn't Pablo said he was going to nerf
Saren.
Also, Trex Paddock as well. He would like to nerf Saren.
Right.
According to Trex Paddock, what he said, he didn't like to play ESO because it forced him to be reminded that Saren needs a nerf. He didn't want to do that, so he was avoiding ESO. Not that he didn't play ESO and wants to nerf Saren. So thank you for everyone for giving us a bit more detail on that and clarifying our point, because obviously we just had the minimalistic end and it sounded awful. Yeah. Apparently, it's at least when he spoke of it on a Twitch stream that I have seen with him with his adorable felines. So yeah, so a little bit more context, and context is king, and that explains it a bit more. So he'd like to, and he doesn't play SO because it reminds him of the fact that it would, but he's not going to nerf Saren apparently at the moment. It's just he would like to. So yeah, a bit more nuance to the situation.
Yeah, I mean, how would you even do it?
Yes. Now we had 2 to do with. Yes, last 3 left, and the first 2 were to do with your bit of your sad, angry rant. Okay. Okay, so first from King of Gaming. First of all, they showed off a way to communicate with each other without voice chat that they used to signal to Megan they needed missiles. And it's not necessarily perfect, however, that can be fixed because they know communication is important. Second thing is, New War is going to have Railjack, so that's at least one reason that they're focusing on Railjack. Third is, if they said there's only going to make one controller setup, I'd be willing to guess that we haven't seen the full Arcwing rework. And fourth, thing is that they're not done with Kuva liches by a long shot. But I'd be willing to guess that even if you'd be happy with just fixing the Kuva liches, most of the community wants Railjack now. And I do see your point, Xeno, but you're freaking out like Warframe is bursting into flames and DE doesn't know anything about what they're doing. But DE said they do have a plan, and some suggestions they get are good, but not where they want to go with this game. So I'd say they aren't just flailing around, even if they have made mistakes.
I completely agree. I have seriously changed my tune since the last episode, and again, that was all thanks to Michelle. He really put a lot of light onto this. I can't praise the episode enough, and I think my concerns are valid, and DE does have a track record of dropping stuff if it doesn't get enough traction. But, I do, people said that they were more interested in Railjack than New War, which I find surprising. But, it's obviously, you have to cater to the greater audience. So, no, I can appreciate it. I think the biggest thing now is make sure that DE get the correct quality feedback that they deserve. Make sure that Railjack
constructive and positive constructive feedback.
Is to make sure that Railjack is as good as it should be.
Right, you there?
Yep.
Cool. So there's one more thing from JJ24. This is interesting here. I didn't know this. I'm going to have to check this later. DE actually sponsored a small video series on Extra Credits channel as marketing for Empyrean, which means they effectively shelved the New War until after the system is introduced. If the cinematic quest is not being shelved, then it feels like the studio is spread too thin and unable to deliver on all its promises for larger content updates. It is surprising at how it seems that new content barely reuses assets to tailor smaller events to hold the player base over. Every time, it looks like DE is trying to reinvent the wheel, which is surprising with how modular the features of the game are. It's as if the engine is so tightly coupled that there's no freedom to put in variations to any of the missions that we do without extensive work under the hood to make the events function. We aren't asking for a shiny new spoon, we're just asking to be creative with the building blocks you already have. More time making a game and less time programming a spreadsheet. Now, I actually said, so I asked some staff, the map level designers this, and they said, oh no, we do. And I realized that they completely didn't understand what I wanted. I said, you've got the map tiles, like let's think of a corpus, warehouse style tile. There's some boxes on there. Why can't the boxes be restructured around the map randomly or into different things to make different versions of a tile? And they said they are, and I'm like, no, it isn't. And I realized what they must have been thinking about the bloody resource boxes that move around.
Yeah.
I'm like, they don't do any effect on gameplay. What I meant is, sometimes you get a tile, let's imagine like a H. There is a H-shaped tile, and normally it's blocked off on one side and not the other. Why can't you have it that sometimes
it's not blocked
all
off
of one side is blocked, sometimes it's not blocked off at all, and that you physically, and it's the same tile. So all they have to do is just get the same objects they have, like boxes and crates and things, and they can make 8 different versions of this tile and stick it in the game. Instead, we get I think there's maybe 1 or 2 versions of that tile. But that's just the H-shaped one. You could do it for the same for any warehouse. There is a big warehouse corpus style. I could think of it as warehouse. I think, for instance, you fight in Chains of Harrow. You fight the Shadow in one of them, the big room, corpus style set in space.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but
they, the fixed objects.
Yes, no, I do know the one you're talking about.
Now, there's big shipping crates everywhere in that tile. Why don't you just make? There's no shipping crates in that sometimes. Maybe there's tall all the way up to the roof. Maybe some of the exits are blocked off by L-shapes. So you have to come around from one side.
I think one thing to realize potentially is that the crates, the containers that we are referring to in this instance, they are baked into the tile.
I know, yeah. I do mean making 7 versions of a tile with baked-in objects.
Yeah. So, you have a valid point. But I think maybe there's a concern then that what happens if you get those 7 versions of the same 7 variations of the same one tile, one after another.
Then it would feel unique because I'd be seeing. At the moment, you can get literally two copies of the same tile right next to each other.
Yeah.
And you just go from the same tile into the same tile.
Yeah.
At least with this, the likelihood of that is reduced because you could even set it that the next tile, even though it's the same shape and of format of room, it's a different copy of that room. So you're like, but the boxes are different, and thus it makes it feel more like a real space and less a stamped down.
Yeah.
Tile connecting exercise. But that's just one example, and I think that's what JJ24 is saying here, that DE are making loads of assets and then they don't use those assets to make interesting. Have you ever played Zelda games?
Yeah.
Have you ever played the N64 ones?
Yeah.
So Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Oh, sorry, N64. Sorry, I heard SNES. No, I haven't played those. But I've watched the Game Grumps play. Oh God, I know Majora's Mask. I've seen the Game Grumps play it.
But my key point is that Majora's Mask was made really quickly because what they did is they just reused the engine and reused all of the assets from Ocarina of Time, like characters. They obviously put some more in, but they reused pretty much everything they had. So they reused enemies, they reused maps, they used characters. It's just it's a different version of character. Yeah. That enabled them to speed up the design of the game so quick, but it made them able to rapidly produce the game rather than having to build everything fresh. Even though there's loads of new stuff in that game, it had a lot of reused assets, which speeds things up.
I mean, World of Warcraft
doesn't seem to do that.
World of Warcraft. I mean, look,
World of Warcraft makes assets all the time instead of reuse it. They could easily reuse assets more. I suppose they do. You are a good point. Actually, they do reuse bosses and mobs, and like what is a boss now becomes a mob later on. They do a lot of reusing. In fact, they do a lot. Even like there's only like 5 or 6 skeletons or something, and that some of the enemies are just reusing player skeletons just sized up. It's quite funny. You realize it after a while, and you're like, But DE doesn't. But what's your view on DE and using that to making smaller content quicker?
No, I think that there's a lot of elements to Warframe that could be revisited. Like, we've now got art guns. Why can't we have a game mode which is just primarily art guns? I don't like the fact that art guns can't be this or a secondary and primary. Why is it an and? I don't like the fact that ESO seems to have the most. In my personal opinion, ESO has the most potential to become something like Last Stand from name of the game, Dawn of War 2. Yeah. Whereas things like arbitrations, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, just for a different loot box. Sorry, different loot table. Oh, I feel ESO is a nicer place to put things, but there's loads of things that could be done. Heck, throw Pursuit into the plains, or Valis is Pursuit. Oh. Why don't we have rush bounties? You have to get there real fast. Oh, a good reason to have a freaking Arcwing. Anyway. Is that the last of the replies? Yes.
Vavancy, last point then. Sorry, the Vavancy. Empyrean will be a co-op focused. Hell no. I fled from Payday 2 to Warframe because of public game experience. If you give pubbies a chance to screw you over, they will.
Well, don't worry, because there are no pubby games for Empyrean.
Is there not?
No, I'm broadly generalizing. I've not tried myself because I was, being in the position I'm in, I'm able to just jump on Discord and find people. For other people that aren't so lucky, I don't know what it's like, but I know that some people have tried to do PUBG games, and they've been sat there for absolutely ages trying to find a group. And
Wow.
I think the big problem is that, you know, you've given everyone a ship, right? So what's better? If they made it so that you got more experience towards your talent trees for playing on someone else's ship, that's an incentive. So you're not leveling up your ship, but you're at least leveling up yourself faster.
How do I play on someone else's ship rather than my own ship?
So you got to go into the star chart in the top right hand corner underneath the window of all the tabs. There is an Imperium button. You click on that. You then choose the node you want to go on, and then it will find you a game.
Oh,
yeah.
It's still hard time finding people playing games, is it?
Yeah, but I mean, I had that with the Lich system. No one was playing Liches, so I was just doing them by myself.
Game. We'll have to see. Okay, well that's it for that. Let's move on to the topics of this week.
Topics for this week. By the way, I think it might be the cable man.
Yeah, this seems fine, doesn't it?
Right, so maybe you just need to gauss the cable. Gauss. Oh, we didn't do dojo dusting. Moving on. Right.
Well, I thought maybe it was in one of the periods where... I mean, this is fine, isn't it? Yeah, it's got no problem. Oh, well.
No, I just forgot about it. Right, so once again, the need of a better dojo management rises. Topic 1. Topic 2. Kuva Lich quality of life, Lich strongholds. And then topic 3. We need a Railjack ticker. Right. Again, all of these topics are before the launch of Railjack. Once again, we need a dojo management. Wait. The need of a better dojo management rises. Lined. Right. Remove the child system and let us swap and move at will, which is something even Animal Crossing has.
The child system?
I don't know. The possibility of swapping rooms at will, i.e. the removal of child system, since they're all singular rooms with their own entities. It shouldn't be hard to give us the option to move them without having to destroy and rebuild each and every time. Or at least the possibility to get halved building times if said room has already been built once. An in-game planner that lets us see what the actual structure will be like without having the need to use third-party software / sites, or at least a full wide map so we can have a better understanding about how the dojo will look like, and just about how each and every room will interlink and or disrupt others. Looking at the dry docks, this request becomes obvious since we often don't even know why we can't build it somewhere. Okay. This post has a really fair point. I don't think it's doable easily without a whole rework of the engine, because I think the whole point of the engine is you have point A, and then you build on the tiles until you get to a point where, right, this will be point B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And then work on the tiles. This is the end. Because the game engine seriously struggles with the concept of having loops in it. Mostly because the tiles just don't match. So you can't easily get them to loop. Unlike the dojo tiles. But even so, I don't think the engine works by not having a start point and an exit. Yeah? So the dojo system is just a bastardized version of the regular missions. Or the dojo building. Personally, Personally, if I was to change this, what I would do is I would build a separate web-based application, like just a website where you could see your dojo in layers, and you could reorganize it as you wish, right? Anyone that's in the game as it stands in the tile would not be affected. But when once it's been submitted and it's been processed and everything, then it could be redone. But right now, in game, it's not doable. It needs to be done, I suppose, externally. Does that make sense?
It's tricky because I was thinking other things, similar things to this sort of thing we've been asking for. They said they were going to do was like a 3D map for Arcwing.
Yeah.
So you'd know where things were. That never materialized. And that's the same sort of thing here. Being able to view the full. What you want is a 3D map you can spin around, which you can see where your starting point in the dojo is, and know how far out you've got to go to space. So that when you say, I would like to build a dry dock here, it would show you the overlay of where the dry dock is and show you that it's eclipsing the outer region of the map. And it's like, right, so you can't place it here. So you can at least then understand, I understand. But it's such a big room, you don't. It just goes, no, can't put it here. And you're like, why can't I put it here?
Yeah. And
so unless you're lucky, I mean, I imagine some people have built maximum dojos and have to smash a lot of stuff to fit these dry docks in. But the thing is, they keep saying they want to add to dojos and do more for dojos, and then they keep putting it elsewhere. We wanted a shooting gallery. They came up with
Mars.
Samaris's
Sanctuary. Simulacrum.
No, Simulacrum, that's the one. And so why wasn't that in the dojo? I've got to put it there. All the stuff for relays was stuff, quite a lot of that was supposed to go into dojos and just got them in relays. They finally get around to adding liches, and that was supposed to be a clan event with a clan bounty hunting sort of thing for the, what do we used to call it? What were liches called while we were waiting on them? They had a name.
I think you're talking about the Nemesis system.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't called the Nemesis system for it. It was the, what was it called? It wasn't before they were called Kuva liches? They were the Kingpin. That was the thing, and it was going to be a hub in which you'd have to go to the dojo to go do stuff there, and it'd be really interesting. The room is now just for trading super jumping liches.
No, it's not.
That's the point. What?
It's used there to facilitate trading. It's not actually used in the trading.
It's just like a battery room, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What
is the point of adding these rooms in? And it's just yeah, they just keep gutting it every time they go. Some person built that room, and then they've just gutted the reason for that room existing.
Yep.
And they keep doing this to dojos. I think the only thing they did commit to, which is really cool, is the build your own obstacle course, which is awesome. But I don't think you've got the ability to test out other people's obstacle courses yet.
Nope.
That's never appeared, and that's what it needed to complete it. So yeah, I think that the dojos do need a rework of their ability to place things within a tile and the way it's structured and doing that, and it's obviously quite archaic, and they've just been adding to the system, because I remember the original system's very hard to place objects, and they've added more abilities to it. But
well, realistically, it shouldn't be something that's even done within the game, right? It should be done externally, right? I think, like, if you've ever done any level editing or anything like, what's the Blizzard Warcraft 3 editor? I can't remember what it's called.
The map editor?
Yeah, fine. Let's just call it map. Even so, you're not doing that in the game engine, right?
No.
You're using the game engine to visualize it and things. But likewise, we're talking about editing the environment within the game itself. That's what the really difficult part is. So if you can take the map file and here's the map file, here's a simple 2D plan, blueprint plan of the environment. Oh, look, this is why you can't build the dry dock because this room above it, so on and so forth. Then I think it would work perfectly fine. But the problem is that we're trying to do something in an engine that's not designed to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, hell, years ago, I've clung on to this for freaking years. I think it was 2014. Steve suggested having community designed quests right? I've hung on to this.
Yeah,
Right?
he did, didn't he?
That's a system that would be beneficial in a different application.
Mm.
You know, that could easily be facilitated in a different application. I mean, hell, when DE are building the tiles, they're not building we need to put this block here. We need to put this turbine here. No, they're going to be built in something like Maya.
Mm.
You know? Anyway. I agree with this person. I don't think it can be done with in-game.
You don't think it can be done with in-game?
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't think that the ability to have the flexibility that this original post wants can be done in-game without a huge rework to the engine.
Mm.
And that's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that, and I can agree that might work like that, yeah.
Oh. Should we go to the replies?
Yeah. I spent the last few weeks tinkering and redesigning our small clans dojo, only to discover how horribly I'm restricted by the child system. Is that the name of is that what it's called, is it? It seems to be called like that.
I don't know. I think that's a nickname, but basically the whole point is if you build 3 rooms, in order to destroy the second room, you have to destroy the third room.
Okay. I can't delete any of the gardens we set in a 2x2 square, nor can I reposition any of the halls, since I can't easily delete the greater halls. Give us some way to swap out the rooms and preview the layout, please. I wonder how it works for a 2x2 square of 4 tiles, if it is able to actually...
It's going to be in the placement order. So they
say I can't delete any of the tiles. If that was true, you could make a video of it, send it into DE, and they'll be like, right, that's a bug, we need to look into that. Yeah.
Well, I think they acknowledge that they need to look into it, but I don't think they would, because I don't think there's the demand there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there is, though. People put a lot of effort into dojos, and they put the whole dojo design content, where you can visit people's dojos.
Yeah.
When we see more of that, I suppose, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Room sizes definitely need to be looked at. The Tenno lab looks tiny, but isn't. Obviously, it's the footprint of it, and it probably has a bigger footprint than it seems, or compared to the other labs.
I would still say it's quite small. No, I think it's the smallest lab, the Tenno one.
But what's its footprint?
It's bigger than what you would expect it to. Well, it's bigger than the traversable area inside it. Yeah. Because it's got all those cabinets and everything where they show off stuff. But it's smaller than any of the other 3.
I don't know. It's the footprint might be even bigger than that, because when was the last time you placed one?
A while ago.
Yeah, so it might actually have a very large footprint that's beyond the actual size of the object by quite a large margin. Who knows? I haven't placed one in ages, but yeah, there's an example. Once the update dropped, it turns out I forgot to accommodate for the height. Height is a pretty obscure property of rooms, as most rooms don't have issues with it. It's mainly the observatory and the parkour rooms. I think you can get really far into dojo building without realizing that room height is even a thing. Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Do you know what I'd be really interested to know? Is how meticulously people plan out their dojos. So Loz and I, we first were in a clan where the entire structure was symmetrical, right? It had 2 dimensions of... I can't remember what the mathematical expression... Basically, there was 2 degrees of symmetry, right? So 1/4 was multiplied out. And whenever we wanted to modify it, the whole structure had to be destroyed and rebuilt and everything. Whereas, now it's just like, well, no, whatever's the most convenient. It's function over fashion. Obviously, there are plenty of clans out there with very pretty looking dojos. So, wondering whether or not your clan dojo is function or fashion. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is, I spent like 3 days deleting the entire main structure of my dojo because I couldn't remove the Great Hall. Wow. Okay.
Couldn't remove the Great Hall?
Is that the starting?
No,
hall?
That's the last one.
Okay. It is a bit of a funky system.
Although, if they if they were deconstructing stuff so that they got, like, you know, the second room they built was the Great Hall. Well, technically it would be like the fourth or fifth room would be the Great Hall, and everything else was spanned from that. Then yeah, no, I get what they're saying.
Next one is being able to manually set spawn points in the dojo wouldn't go amiss either. In my case, people spawn inside stuff and have to move so that the decorations will stop glowing red. I think you can, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're talking... Well, no, I don't know if you can specify the exact room, but like when Rebecca invited us to her clan, like, we weren't in the same place. We were just constantly spawning inside this tree. I'm like, but we should be by there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's set points and you built the object on the spawn point. I can't remember if
we were spawning in the Greater Hall.
Yeah, I don't know where we're spawning for that. But anyway, if it is there, I haven't seen it and it's not very intuitive. The whole system that sadly the dojo could do with a redesign from the ground up.
Yep.
And to be honest, this is one of the examples of the things we say when we say we would love for D to spend time just developing the game, not adding to it, because things need doing. And that means it just needs redesigning, but it's just when you're building on a house of cards and the cards you start with are crumpled and old, you can't really get very high.
Yep.
But those were the best cards you had at the time. That's the only problem. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, I would love to see a dojo management thing. I would love to see dojos have given a purpose. And yes, they've given them the dry dock. And I hopefully we do things in there with resources or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait. I have to go play it and see. But I'm still meh about it. So we'll see. Yeah. Should we move on to topic 2?
Right, moving on to topic 2. Kuva Lich quality of life. Lich strongholds. I don't know where this is going to go. You have 2 or even 3 symbols unlocked. You have 2 or even 3 symbols unlocked, and your Lich stubbornly refuses to spawn and give you a chance to test your combination. Oftentimes, we learn the correct kill code on an encounter, but have to go through the agonizing process of goading our Lich out of hiding again, just to put it out of its misery for good. When a Lich takes control of a world, one of the nodes on the planet planet is chosen to be a stronghold node. A stronghold node grants a guaranteed Lich spawn, but the enemies and Lich in that mission will be in the powered state, stronger, higher level, regardless of Lich's current level. The mission will also have a sortie modifier. The Lich will invade the player within the mission. Wait, hold on. The Lich will invade the player within the first minute from the start of the mission. I feel that making a mission and Lich harder with a guaranteed spawn is a decent compromise between challenge and convenience. The mission is designed to give players a way of to test their combos without being subject to extreme spawn drought. That makes current Kuva Lich farming annoying, especially on unwanted Liches in the first place. Each Lich that could spawn will spawn in order of host migration priority for the team. Defeat one Lich to trigger the next spawn. Wow, this is long. Stronghold mission would disappear if all Kuva Lich missions are cleared on the planet, allowing for a player to continue like normal. Lich strongholds are an optional way for players to streamline engaging their Lich, but a greater difficulty, thus not preventing clearing the planet. Losing to a Lich on a stronghold would not grant murmurs like a normal encounter, and thralls would not spawn on these missions. you could theoretically test every combination on only Lich Stronghold missions, but it would clearly be faster and far more efficient to earn murmurs elsewhere and then test combos on the Stronghold afterwards. How much of what was said do you like?
I get what the problem is that they're addressing, and I think there is something as a nice suggestion what they're saying. My understanding, though, is hopefully, that the Lich system isn't finished, and eventually they'll do things like get their own galleons, and then you can just go after them, which makes it quite obvious. So, because a ship is a unique thing. They've got a ship, you go chase the ship, you get the ship, there they are. If they reach that stage of development, I'm worried because they separated it out. I'm worried they can't bleed it back in again. That would fix this person's problem. I feel it was a bit too easy with their system because you just get the Lich in the first minute, and then do you get multiple Liches if you kill it?
Yeah.
Sorry? You just keep getting the Lich. I feel.
Well, no, I think you only get your Lich once per stronghold. But it would cycle through
if
each
anything, I would like to see something like you craft a Lich beacon that means it will come the next mission. Would be more interesting. If you you could even make it cost Kuva so that it's a trade-off. You can either farm a Kuva while waiting for it to turn up normally, or you can spend some Kuva, get it, make sure he turns up. I could be behind that. Use it as a consumable. I think it would be better.
I kind of want to have it so that you have a trap, and the more Kuva you put in it, the higher the chance.
Yeah.
So if you were to put only like 100 Kuva in there, then nope. But if you were to put in like 1,000 Kuva, it's like a 50-50 chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like the idea of a trap more. I dislike the idea of getting...
The trap also works thematically because the Lich steals from you. And I don't know how that works. Does he actually steal the stuff you picked up, or is he stealing from the area? And that's represented by your loss of resources. But having like a trap you use so that when it comes to steal your resources, it gets trapped and oh no, you're fighting it. There you go.
I think looking at it, I like the idea of a stronghold, right? I like the idea of you being able to attract the Lich in different ways. But I think if I wanted to go the stronghold route, you couldn't get your Lich to appear in a stronghold until it was like, I don't know, level 4 or 5. Yeah?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll give you that. Yeah. It would be something that it unlocks. Yeah.
Currently in the footage right now is what I was talking about with the whole rad proct vortex.
Yeah, vortex.
Just saying. So painful. Right. Yeah, so I like the idea of a stronghold. Another thing that I have that's a concern is that it is so easy to get the first 2 murmurs. The third one's the hard one because it requires a lot more. But the thing with the murmurs is that you can brute force it when it's a 1 in 6 chance to get the right one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but there's the order. Well, okay, fine. So it becomes a 1 in 8 chance to get it. So it's still not that high. I was hoping that this was going to be a mission that where, like, you know, maybe the Liches were maxed out, but you had multiple Liches at the same time. Right? It was something super hard, and you know, maybe it could reward you from a different pool so I dropped table entirely, but one that was designed for this extra hard gameplay. I mean, people keep on whinging about challenge, but you know, oh, it's not challenging. Well, what if it was like 4 level 100 Liches? at the same time.
I think it's a bit weird because why would there be more liches? Liches are supposed to be a personal thing. So I think it's a bit weird
But
to
you
say.
can engage in other people's liches.
Yes, but you'd have to then set up a team where you've got multiple liches. You know, everyone in your team going to this mission has a lich. Because if it's just solo or with a pair, you can't get 4 liches turning up. You know, levels fine, whatever. So I don't think that's feasible. Seems
Well,
rather
no, I mean,
convoluted and complicated.
You can't enter it unless you have a lich.
Right. So it's a lich moot where all the liches turn up to gather to fight the Tenno. They also gather for some reason. It's a lich off.
Stronghold.
No, but it wouldn't be. That doesn't make any sense because it's not your lich's stronghold. It's a magical lich stronghold in which all liches turn up for some reason, even though they're personally turning up. They're personally coming to attack you, but they've all decided, oh yes, I'll enter my friend's stronghold. Why? How is that? I feel that ruins the whole personalized aspect of this thing. You're just going like, yes, so everyone can fight their liches. Why? How does that make sense?
Do you feel that there's any value in a lich stronghold?
So what's the fundamental underlying thing it's trying to fix? And that's
in this person.
Grind. No, the grind for when you want your lich to turn up. That's what they're trying to fundamentally fix that. The idea of having a stronghold, or it's a mission. I don't know what a stronghold per se means. You know, I suppose if you're going on the Xmas stronghold, there's just lots of Xmas units. If that's what you're meaning a stronghold is, so now we have to carry that across and not make a lich stronghold mean something new. Just means there's lots of liches. Then that makes it work to get. It solves the problem. But I feel again it's just too easy. I liked it much more with the trap idea and like yours, where it wasn't 100% chance. It was just at most a 50% chance. But you're going to have to spend Kuva to do it to get to turn up. And you have to make that trade-off. It's either you grind or you can use these resources to skip your grind. I much prefer that. The stronghold, I wouldn't want to see it as a step on just making him spawn to kill. I would like to see it be something more in the progression of the lich. So obviously the lich has a gun. If the lich, and you know, the liches that we fight are just dudes with guns that just stealing resources from you and feel like kind of like a Robin Hood kind of character, you know, not really having a base of operations. So if it had a base of operations and a stronghold, I would like to see it that there's something more to it, so that when you kill it, you get more from it. Like with when you kill, if it had, when then the next stage up, it goes to having a galleon. That there's some special reward and special gameplay elements to it for fighting it when it's got its galleon. And then if you go higher and it can have its own Fomorian or its own fleet of ships, and thus you get some either additional reward or special gameplay, different bits to fight it in the different steps. I wouldn't want the stronghold to literally just be a mechanism to allow me to kill liches quicker, because that's all it seems to is. It just feels like such a simple thing to fix. It's just trying to fix it, and then you got this cool idea of strongholds. I'm like, oh, cool! I like the idea. What does that mean? What's it now? It's got a stronghold. Does it get a stronger grasp on the area? If the stronghold is stopped, does it have an effect on something else other than resource drop? Does it start affecting my XP gain? I don't know. Just it would make more sense. So its influence grows now. It has a stronghold. Instead, you just seem to want it as this mission I play to kill lich.
Well, no, I mean, the whole point is you'd have all four at the exact same time.
This is mission I play to kill liches.
I don't know, maybe I'm overselling it, but I would have thought it'd be really hard to defeat all 4 liches at the same time.
Maybe.
I mean, there was no way in hell I would have it.
AI improve that they are linked together. Maybe if it was some sort of clever puzzle as well, where you didn't know which lich you had to kill first, or it would swap around which lich was the active lich and the other liches were invincible, while that lich burdened invincibilizing. Like, I need it to be more in depth than just 4 liches spawn and you shoot them.
Yeah,
because that just feels really lazy.
Okay, so I'm feeling, would you rather have lich bait or lich stronghold?
It's realistically just lich node, but it's the node that makes the lich spawn.
I can't remember if would you rather is actually defined.
You have got, you have WYR. Would you rather? You've got 2, and I think that's good because they're simple. SYBAT, should you be able to, and we're Would you rather?
Lich bait. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I'm more in the line what you're saying. I think it would be have Lich bait than...
If that's the underlying thing you want to fix, I think Lich bait is quicker, easier, and feels better.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Should we move on to the replies?
This is a good. This is good. This is good quality of life suggestion, in my opinion. Lol, I wouldn't be surprised if the stronghold gets implemented if on Railjack once it supports liches. To be honest, I feel like it's the reason we have Railjack in the first place. Well, we don't know the reason we have Railjack, but
no, I think the reason why we have Railjack is because we wanted Space Ninja Star Trek.
They did, yeah. They wanted to lead everything together, but we'll see. The next one is, I would prefer it assassination mission style, with you fighting them in an arena on a specific tile. But this works too. That's the thing. I think this is that they're making it special. That it's not just the Lich spawns within 1 minute of you playing this random node. That is the stronghold. I would like to see maybe even a special tile that was for Lich strongholds. Yeah, so it could give a bit of lore about them, and you fought them in their own little base or arena, and it was a bit more custom to their own thing, or there's different arenas that they aha, I knew you were coming, that's why I set up this arena with my own teleport pads. You'll never stop me now. And then the next one says, I have all these sewage slides I can ride down.
Yeah.
The third, that'd be a lot of work, though. And the last one is, if this was a thing, it required the 3 full murmurs before, for sure. Otherwise, I would only do this with my liches. Wait, hang on. Sorry, in the example, did they say the lich would keep coming at you or just once per node?
What do you mean?
The stronghold mission will disappear if all other lich missions are cleared on a player, allowing for a player to continue like normal. Lich strongholds are an optional way for players to streamline engagement at lich's great difficulty, thus not preventing clearing the planet. Missions designed to give players play test their combos without being a such spawned route, which makes good lich fun. Defeat one lich trigger. Each lich that could spawn will spawn in order of host migration priority for the team. Defeat one lich to trigger the next spawn. Yeah, so their one does spawn all 4 liches of a team, just one at a time. Okay.
Yeah.
So if this was a thing, it'd require the 3 full murmurs before for sure. Otherwise, I would only do this with my liches. Just my liches. And as I think my short suggestion would be more likely, as this just slightly lowers overall grind possibly needed versus letting a shot at RNG decide an already RNG decided fight with tons of grind.
What?
Yes, what?
If
this was a thing,
I think
it required the 3 full...
I think the reply is basically trying to say, you need to have all 3 murmurs. You can't make it as easy as getting the first 2 and then brute forcing the third one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what was the other point that they had? So
and as I think my short suggestion would be more likely, as this just slightly lowers overall grind possibly needed versus letting a shot at RNG decide an already RNG decided fight with tons of grind.
I don't.
I think they're just saying you have to get all 3 murmurs. You can't do the stronghold just with 2 and a guess, and you can just keep running it and brute force it. Like say, you have to have all 3, and that the stronghold is just there to allow you to find the combination. I think, which is fair enough. It would help people so that if you did all those, what are they called? The ones you kill for the murmurs.
Oh, thralls.
Yes, you've done all your thralls to the point that you've got all 3 symbols. This just allows you to speed up and get it done. So maybe.
I prefer the bait thing. This just feels like the whole point is you're supposed to hunt it down.
Yeah, that's why I think the whole thing is complicated, and just the trap or beacon system for it makes more sense because you're hunting it down or you're trapping it when you trick it into a.
I much prefer the whole. I mean, maybe you can only use the bait on the Kuva fortress, because that way it makes it think, oh, the queen's offering me more Kuva.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway. I think the bait thing makes a hell of a lot more sense. It also gives you a reason to spend... Ooh, whoops, I left that on. Gives you a reason to spend the Kuva. Thematically, it makes sense because the Liches want Kuva to become more Kuvali-ishness.
Well, in lore they need it, but not in reality.
So I think realistically we need to wait for any changes that Kuva Liches get with Railjack, or even just quality of life changes implemented by DE. But I feel that a lot of the community doesn't want to work. I mean, people are saying, like, oh yeah, but this is grind. Yes, that is work. A job is grind. You have to do the same thing day in, day out. I mean, if you don't want to work for something, you just want instant gratification for doing fuck all. I mean, we don't want to have quick and easily completable content. We want something to work at. You know? So, yeah. Anyway. Moving on to the next topic?
Or replies?
We just done the replies. Yeah. I think both of us have gotten to the point of sleepy.
I just feel that topic, it's just... I know, that's why I kept going back to the underlying problem, and I appreciate that they can see their underlying problem, which is they want to get their liches done quicker. But I just feel the way they're going about it is so convoluted. I can appreciate their underlying goal. This seems just rather weird and convoluted, and too, like, give me the lich now. It spawns within 1 minute. It's like, do you have to work it at all? Was there an investment here? I just feel it's too simple, too easy for that.
Yeah. Okay, so topic 3.
Yeah.
We need a Railjack ticker. I think we could really use a trader similar to the ticker in Fortuna. A resource/credit sink that allows us to speed up the grind, not to substitute. The type/amount of needed resources and the gain is regenerated periodically. The number of transactions are capped at every few hours. Possibilities. A strategic trader at a relay, Maru's Bazaar, or on our own dry dock. Civilian neutral vessels found in space, probably in free flight or between missions. The mix of both a static, neutral, or syndicate-controlled station or colony found randomly interplanetary petrol station. They said MDRLOz!
Petrol station.
Ability to extract new resources from default ones using the onboard forge, titanium from salvage, cubic diodes from circuits, pustules from nanospores, that blue mineral thing from Rubido, etc. Maybe put a cooldown timer on it. Oof. So they are saying that in order to get resource, just to be able to exchange the billions of whatever resource we have for something that is relevant to Fortuna. Sorry, not Fortuna, Railjack. Right? When was this post made? So I think Tobiah did this 4 days ago. So this was before Railjack even came out. As far as I can tell, Railjack isn't syndicate based. There is no syndicate for Railjack. Yet. I don't know. This just feels like it's trying to band-aid a system that has only just come out. Maybe in a few days' time, when this episode comes out, people can say, yes, no, this would actually be a worthwhile thing. Personally, I'm just like, well, Why is it that people have to skip what's considered the grind, right? Just play the game. Just enjoy flying around in your spaceship, shooting shit, right? Why do we have to get everything now? What's that meme, which is like, I swear it's the dog with like a bowl full of food. It's just like, this has to last you a week. Don't eat it all in one go. And the dog eats it all in one go.
Yeah, it's the same as there's a guy, not a stick person, but just a dude outline of a person. There's a cake in front of them, and it says like, content on it. And the second picture is them just devouring the cake with no regard, and the cake's gone, and they say content drought.
Yeah,
it's like so that they put in a system of this is supposed to take you X amount of time of play and investment to increase and scale up, and people just want to get that out of the way so they can have it maxed, and then they say, right, but now there's no more content. It's like, but
you've just skipped
was the content.
Yeah.
Now it's obviously we've got loads of these older resources, but to just go, oh yeah, I need some of this new resource, can't I just destroy my other resource? So what about all the methods of acquisition of this new resource that he wants you to put in so you can learn and understand the game? No, you just want it now. See, I think it works for some things, and I think Ticker is a good thing for the Bazaar. Sorry, no, for the Fortuna. I would like to see Ticker expanded on, but in other ways. So maybe that we actually buy the when we rescue the people through Ticker, they can become available to work on our Railjack.
Yeah.
I just feel that works better than just,
like, I find it baffling. Like, not everything has. When you watch Game of Thrones, do you watch it to say that you have watched it, or do you watch it to enjoy it? Do you go into work or school the next day and say, "Oh, I've watched it"? Okay, so fine. Game of Thrones is over. Rick and Morty, The Mandalorian. Just pick anything that's new and popular. The Expanse has just come out. Are you now going to binge watch the entirety of The Expanse just so that you can say that you've watched it? Or are you going to take your time and enjoy it? Right? Not saying that you won't enjoy it if you binge it, but the question is, are you binging it for the right reasons? Right? I mean, hell, we could have just postponed the production of 10 o'clock just so that we could go on play Railjack. Like, oh yeah, 10 o'clock's coming out Wednesday. It's like, why? Because I want to play Railjack. No. So, no, we need to level up in Railjack. We need to do it right now. We have to do it now. No, it can wait. I mean, what? There's a higher chance that Railjack will change for the better in the time we're not playing it.
Yeah. That's what I did with the Liches. I waited on the Liches so that they got improved. And now there's a lot more to them. They're more nuanced. Some of the bugs have been fixed. There's a lot more quality of life improvements. These are going to come for Railjack as well.
Yeah. I am not opposed to this sort of person, so this sort of NPC introduced into Warframe. I, however, do think that this is jumping the gun because we don't even know what it's like yet. Well, I mean, again, maybe we do now, but I don't understand the aversion to just playing the game. Yeah,
especially that. So they want to get resources quicker. Now, there may be points which some of these resources are bad. The example we go back to favorably, well, not favorably, but I always favored going back to, is the one from the plains when it came out. And one of the fish was very hard to get. And people were frustrated. The Norgs was it. Yeah, the spawn rate of them was awful. And people were complaining they couldn't progress and whatever. And it's like, they fixed it. But people who wanted to do it in the first 2 or 3 days had big problems.
Yeah.
The same thing's going to happen with this. So it's like, at the moment, you're feeling this need to get resources. And the other thing was, the other time this happened was, I'll bring this up again, when Necros came out, and there was the new nav coordinates. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my god, I can't get Necros, I need to find these nav coordinates, I don't have any. And the first 2 days, yeah, you didn't have any. But after 3 or 4 days, everyone had bajillions of them.
Yeah,
it wasn't an issue.
Same with Mesa. Right, okay, fine. Mesa's a little bit different because you have to go out of your way. But I remember those nodes for Mesa. Oh my god, like they would disappear in a heartbeat because everyone jumped on them. Do you remember the Mutalist nav coordinates? Rad V?
Yes.
Yeah, Mutalist out of V. Like they had limited runs and they would just disappear. But yeah, I don't understand why people are obsessed with burning through the grind, and then it just feels like people put the game down. I mean, put a reply in the comments. It genuinely feels people want to get the milestone, they want to get the achievement. Oh, I've maxed out my Railjack, so that they can put the game down. Why aren't you just playing with your Railjack? Why aren't you just laughing maniacally as you're hurtling your way through space? Where's the rush?
Yeah. Where's the rush? Yeah.
You know? Do you play Warframe for Warframe, or do you need to have everything now? I've had this exact argument with content creators, and I've had it thrown back in my face, So, but like, I just enjoy playing the game.
Yeah.
When I'm not being a little baby crying about new war being delayed.
No, that one was a promise that was missed.
Yeah.
You can at least explain that one. You can justify.
Yeah, but even so.
No, they didn't have to put that Christmas. Did it say Christmas?
It did. It said Christmas 2019.
They didn't have to put that on there.
Nope.
And my understanding is they already knew it was a bit going to take a lot of time to finish. They didn't have to put that time restriction on themselves. They could have just said, "Coming soon."
Yeah.
We all know what coming soon means at this point.
Around the corner.
It's around the corner. Coming soon, TM. They put the restriction on themselves to go, this is coming 2019, and then it didn't, and then it's great that we've got now Railjack. I'm happy that we have Railjack now. I don't know how it's going to feel, if it's going to be good, it's going to be bad, it's going to be incomplete, but I know they'll build upon it. I have a positive feeling about this, that this isn't going to just be what was the Total Biscuit comment?
Ruin of a castle on top of the ruins of a castle.
Ruins of a castle. Hopefully this is, they found their castle. Now they're building it. We have they've released the foundations.
Yeah.
Now they shall build upon it, is my hope and dream.
They used a hell of a lot of cement to flatten it out.
Yep, it took a lot of work. The planning permissions had that when they were doing the initial survey, they found that there was actually a lot of rocks and chemical waste they needed to clear up first. And they've cleared that now. It took a thing, and then sadly there was also a rare endangered bird that they had to wait till it's migrated away before they could build onto the site. But now all that's cleared, foundations are now set and out, and hopefully now a giant castle that will not crumble will be built.
Yep.
But I get what you mean totally with the where's the rush?
Yeah.
Slow down. Life is to be savored.
Yeah. I mean, you get it in like everything. It's like World of Warcraft. People rush to get to max level, right? Yeah. I mean, when you
the problem with that is that's a tailored experience. There is a thing at maximum level for you to enjoy that high level content.
Yeah, but even so, like, do you have to do it right now?
No. Yeah, but some people don't, but you didn't. The interesting thing was, for instance, let's go with WoW Classic that brought out. People didn't want anyone to be able to skip it. They wanted everyone to have to go through the grind. Some people just got into the game, skipped all the quests, and rushed to the max level. Other people got into the game and then just enjoyed the content at their pace. But everyone agreed, and this was one of the things they said, is they did not want people paying to skip that.
Yeah.
To get to max level right away. They wanted it to be meaningful. The rush players and the slow players wanted that to be acceptable. So now this person's saying, I want to skip the grind, basically. Now, we don't even know if it is going to be that bad grind. It might be when you get to high level in Empyrean, these resources become very easy to get already.
Yeah.
I don't know. I doubt anyone can know, seeing as it's pretty confident in that because it's not even been out for a day at this point.
Yeah.
So give it some time, people do it. It will fix it. And then if it turns out that some of those are very hard to get, it might be a bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it might be that, hey, don't worry, the next addition to the game that we're going to release maybe next week, maybe there's a few end high-level missions for special missions they've just been working on that need more development time, and those ones will generate lots of resources. Like they may add the equivalent of a tusks, space tusk, and then it just dumps resources at you. There we go. It might come in soon, So the ticker as an option, I like the ticker. I thought he was good for Orbalis, and it fitted it added a thematic element as well. Worked really well.
Yeah.
If they want to do it for Railjack, it should be completely different. Oh, but I did like that. See, I don't know how this works for Railjack at the moment. Do you go to nodes and do you get to fly in between nodes? Or is it just like you go into an area, then you go into another area? Are there like areas you can jump in between areas that are like exploration areas or something? I don't know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, because they get to the whole point about the whole in this. It says like civilian neutral vessels found in space.
Oh,
like,
so right now, I've only looked at it once because annoyingly, only the host of the Railjack mission, let's just call him the captain. The captain of the Railjack is the only one that can actually navigate after a Railjack mission. So they're the only ones that can actually end the mission. So,
really?
Huh?
They're the only one?
Yeah. So, like, you as a pilot or basically a client, a joining client, can't use the nav terminal after the mission's concluded. So you can't even end it. And
really?
Yeah. So I think that's going to be something that will probably be fixed.
Right.
What else is there? I'm trying to think now. From what I have looked briefly, there are a number of nodes, like the star chart. So basically, it's a secondary star chart that overlays on top. I remember seeing Earth. Pretty sure I remember seeing Saturn. Maybe one other node. And I remember seeing... one other planet. And I remember seeing your dojo, the dry dock. Those are the only places you can go to. And there's just a few nodes scattered around each planet. So it doesn't look anywhere near finished, right? Which is to be expected. And I think that it would be nice if you could go to these other places between planets and things. That's I've always wanted a game that is very similar to Star Trek, where you could have a deep space comms relay, right? You had to go there. And literally, it's not even orbiting a planet. It is in the space between stars, right? That, in this case, it would be in the space between planets because we're not going outside of the star chart yet. But that is the sort of shit I would like. So yeah, I'm totally down for the differences. I also like when they all spoke about titanium from the salvage, cubic diodes from the circuits, pustules from the nanospores, all that sort of stuff. It actually sung to me. The only thing I would say is the pustules should come from the ores of Earth because that's where you mine them. So you could actually crack open the ores and find more pustules. That's what I would prefer personally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, replies?
Didn't they say different avionics have different manufacturers? What the? Okay. I wonder if they could have hubs kind of like relays where stuff could be traded between players and NPC vendors. I doubt DE wants to put the time and effort into that much world building though. Now,
if I
want to counter that pit there. Dowie's put the time and effort into that much building though. DE would love to spend billions of hours on every aspect of this game. I want to point that out.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out. They do not go, oh, I can't be bothered to add that in. Oh God, They're like, no, it's not feasible. That would take a lot of time. We need to move on to this. Yeah, no, their desire is bigger than their capacity, if anything. And maybe they will. I mean, I think that's really cool. The idea of like different hubs and relays. Now that we can actually travel between them and travel in different ways to them with these ships, fly around them, maybe even defend them, that'd be cool. I think the sky's the limit. Space is the limit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Based on the stream, unless the numbers drastically change, it seems like once we can actually get into space and take out some asteroids, we'll have plenty in no time.
I just like don't. Yeah, okay. From the numbers, it didn't look too bad, but don't trust the numbers on a stream.
Oh yeah, they're work in progress. But if it is too grindy, they'll fix it.
Yeah.
People are generally consumable averse. I know I avoid consumables like the plague. I think people would generally prefer the ammo to drop directly. As long as each drop is enough to craft a chunk of ammo, I think it's all just essentially the same thing with the extra step of crafting. Perhaps DE just wanted to avoid giant ammo boxes dropping in space. Yeah, I think giant ammo boxes dropping in space would be a bit too on the nose, and this is their clever way of doing it. So,
yeah, actually, that's a fair point.
Would be a great way to introduce a rail agent. I don't know what that means. A rail agent. Agents of the rails. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. Sorry, I forget you can't see me.
No, I'm more worried that it's my connection holding up when you're quiet.
No,
This seems to have done really well. I'm going to have to test that cable, not when it's spread out, but I haven't had any problems like this. Maybe I'll just buy a short cable. Maybe
try it without the repeater.
I am.
What, right now?
Well, it's just plugged straight into the computer.
No. Try it without the repeater, just the cable.
The repeater's part of the cable.
Is it? I thought it was just two cables put through a repeater.
No, the repeater is part of it.
Oh, okay.
Built in.
Right, my bad.
Yeah. Maybe it's had its day. Who knows?
Maybe just let it cool down. Right, so...
But it cools down every day when I'm not here.
Yeah, I think this is just a wait and see.
Yeah.
Though, one card we can ask is... what do you think of Railjack now that it's released?
Yeah.
What do you think of Rail? Now East. Have a new acronym. What do you think should be a suitable acronym? Yes.
An acronym?
Abbreviation.
For what?
What do you think?
What do you think? What do you think? WYT.
WDYT, right?
That's the one.
Right. But it's something that we could reuse, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think we are done on topics. Yeah, okay, cool. So we shall move on to the memes.
Cool. You don't need me to link them, do you?
Yeah.
Have them all.
Right. As long as they're actually in Dropbox.
Meme frame review.
He remembered, guys!
I've been kind of...
you get a point.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
you don't get points. That's being silly now. Come on. No, you don't get points for doing what you're supposed to do.
Move on.
You'll get a negative point in this, right? Anyway, no, sorry. I think I've overworked my forearm on my arm. I've kind of been hiding it this whole time, just doing this recording. It's like just really tense, like not like a cramp, but kind of like after a cramp. And it's just like I was like distracted by it the whole time. But I did the clapping, not help. Right. Anyway, so first one. So you're not getting my clapping today, right? My favorite.
Oh my god!
Apparently, Tenno have natural wasabi inside.
What?
It looks like Russian at the bottom as well.
It is. Where did you see that? Oh my god! It says, "Oh my god!" I didn't realize this thing at the top.
Yeah, it's English and Japanese, English and Russian, and then just a Japanese symbol. So there we go. Freshly pasted Tenno with wasabi. I don't even know, but there we go. That my favorite Tenno, that Japanese taste.
I think that is just wasabi in a bag.
So the first reply on this is PvP Grendel be like. PvP Grendel do be like that.
Awesome.
Yep. Number 2.
Oh my god! What?
The Wow Within. And then obviously below,
that's awesome.
The first reply is Warframe, Chains of Waro, Plains of Wardalon, Councillor Warheck, and Nerf Wanyo.
Oh my god.
Brilliant. We still don't have Waluigi in Smash, do we?
No, I think he is in there.
Is he? Waluigi. I remember that was a big thing for a while. Waluigi.
In the latest Smash Ultimate. Is he not in there?
I don't think he was. Maybe they have added him, but I
mean, it's a freaking big roster.
Yeah, but he was missed out. Why is Waluigi missing? Yeah, it still looks like.
Wow.
Yeah, no, December. I don't know. 2018.
Let's move on.
Still,
Number
3. Cephalon size lines turned into shitposts until Empyrean is released day 11. This has been a whole thing, but I've just done one because I was like, okay. YouTubers, I'm done with Warframe. DE releasing Imperium. Cephalon Psi, welcome back.
Yep.
So true.
It is.
Actually, hang on. I'm gonna do it. I've got to do the check. What is it? Though probably better to do it next week. I am looking for. Who am I looking for? YouTuber wise. Flynn. Let's see. I'm curious if Flynn will.
Don't forget to check Twitch. I'm pretty sure he just gave up on YouTube because everyone wanted Warframe.
No. He's done a video an hour ago from Rainbow Six Siege.
Okay.
And one day over. Yeah. No, he hasn't come back yet.
What about Twitch?
Flynn Twitch. What do you think? You might be playing it right now. Might be giving it a go. Let's have a look. What's he doing? He is offline.
What about his recent videos?
No cam practice of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So he's staying away. Fair to him.
For now.
I put respect where respect is due. Lad is staying away.
Next one.
It's fine. No. Next one is number 4. I don't know what to put here. Well, they couldn't think of a name for the title. So we have a SpongeBob meme with Nightmare, No Shields mode. And then versus Killed Remains.
Oh my god.
So true.
Yep.
Number 4. Team Gary.
Wasn't that 4?
Oh, no, sorry, number 5. Yes, number 5. Number 5, Team Carry featuring Baby Yoda. High Master Rank teammate, me 3 tiles behind. Kills 241, kills 7. Yes, die, trash. I haven't seen The Mandalorian, but that Baby Yoda's face is amazing.
Oh god, Baby Yoda's amazing.
Do you know that, just Baby Yoda information, I don't think they realised everyone was going to like this so much because there's no merchandise for Christmas, and apparently it's been estimated they've missed out on like several $1 million because there's no merchandise for people to die.
No, I think they've actually made something which is like a Baby Yoda toy, but it looks really...
They're not coming out till April and May.
Really?
Yeah, you can pre-order them, but they're not out.
Wow, they frigging missed a beat there.
Yeah, how much are they saying it's... there's a thing on it. It's apparently they've estimated it's cost Disney $2.7 million this Christmas that they could have gained on just Baby Yoda merchandise over a Christmas period.
Wow.
So one day ago, there's apparently there is some
out of interest
t-shirts.
Have you noticed what my Discord picture is?
Yes, Baby Yoda. I remember you telling me about The Mandalorian. You weren't too impressed. Is Baby Yoda won your heart as well?
He's won my heart. I'm still not impressed with the show.
But okay, that's fine. Right, and the final meme of the week. Blank.jpg. Warframe with their powerful yet terrifying bosses. First, we have the Flygalon. Then we have Profit Taker, I think.
That's Profit Taker.
Then we have one of the Tridolons.
That's the Hydra.
Post migration in progress. Please wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That is good.
That is a good one to end on. Right, that is it for the memes. Can we have the community shoutouts?
Yes, we can.
Mr. Xeno.
Right.
What is our first one?
Our first community shoutout, as long as I haven't screwed up any of them. Our first community shoutout is this Christmas Clem by Grouchy Gigantus. For
my normal complaining about Clem, I will resolve this for the Christmas season, and I like that. That is amazing.
Yep.
That's very cute. I would lovely card. Watercolors. I don't know if that's an effect or if they've actually done that.
That looks like watercolor.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like that. Right, next.
It looks like it's actual parchment paper as well.
Yeah.
So, number 2 is it's sort of like a bit of a meme.
Oh,
by
there was memes of this. I didn't understand them.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Yeah. So obviously everyone that's watching, you're only seeing the Grendel version of this. If you go click on the link in the description for Grendel by Dumb Name, you'll actually see where it's inspired from. Do you remember? Oh God, what was the Gutbuster?
The Gutbuster.
Yeah. Story.
Is that sort of size burger? That was amazing. Massive. But that one looks horrible. It's full of vegetables and sauces. The Gutbuster was full of meat.
Yes.
Piles with more meat on top. It was like
Did
4
you also
layers
have
of
bacon,
meat.
or was it just me who had the bacon?
No, mine did have bacon, but my bacon didn't snap. Mine was actually okay. Your bacon snapped, and so you complained about it. And I said what they should have added to mine was eggs.
Yeah.
Like, put some eggs in there just to... Oh, that would have loved
feedback.
But
bacon should not snap.
Yeah, that's feedback.
Right. Number 3. Work in Progress Clay Excalibur by Silent Scream. This looks like it's going to be awesome.
I'm noticing the background newspaper they're working on looks like Japanese.
I think it's actually Chinese.
Or Chinese. But I hate to be stereotypical, but I know that when it comes to modelling and the hobbying aspects of people of that area, I'm sorry I'm being very stereotypical.
Say East Asia.
I know. Yeah, fine. No, it's fine. Yeah. I just mean that they go all out. So when this finished, it's going to be good.
It's going to be all out.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that helmet already looks amazing. I just, yeah.
The 4th community shout out is this Pixel Valkyria Mithra by Dasta Creations. Pixel art. Pixel art instant win. Whatever that sound was.
Time don't do pixel art. Time don't do pixel art. I love pixel art. It's just so good. I just go.
Yep.
Why do I have to put? If only I could just give up enjoying playing games and just make things. but I get bored of making things and want to play games.
Yep.
Problem because could you imagine like a bloody 2D?
Yep. The 5th community shout out is this Nidus Deluxe by Afterburner. I don't think we've had this one before.
No, I've not seen it.
Yeah.
If we did see it, it would have been a non-colored version. That's awesome. Love the way they've kind of got the glow of the light either on it or from the arms. That's really cool. Right, and the last one.
And then the 6th community shout out is this fantastic Hydroid Deluxe by N. So obviously
we don't have a Hydroid Deluxe, do we?
No, it was shown at TennoCon.
Is it this?
Yeah. Pretty sure it was TennoCon.
No, Excalibur Deluxe was shown at TennoCon. That looks like this kind of.
No, yeah. Oh, by the way, we had that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I should buy it.
I'm pretty sure that they showed this off at TennoCon as well. Either that or shortly after TennoCon during a dev stream.
I think it might be the dev stream.
But it was again done by Liger Inazuka and had those multicolored fish. And yeah, but it's...
Oh, see, I love what this image is cool. I don't know if this is actually... The one thing I don't like about it, and I'm sorry, is the way it looks like... Because of the sort of folded back bits, it makes the cape look like a hanging coat and not like a cape. Maybe the final one will look good, but...
I think it is a
hanging coat. I know, but I don't like it when it looks too much like a coat. It should look techno-organic. Like towards the end, the way it like breaks off at the end of the coat looks fine, but it's just that top bit.
Fair enough. I like it. I like it. I think it's a very good picture. Loz. Right.
I guess you'll like this hydroid skin.
Why?
No beard to clip with things.
Oh, right. So that's it from community shoutouts.
Cool. Then let us finish with my.
Yep.
I'm shocked we haven't had this, and if we have had it, I will be annoyed. Right, here we go. You ready?
Batman. Sorry. Preemptive.
That means yes. Batman does mean yes. I can say that. Right. The Focus Natas. Through analysis of thousands of recorded engagements, the Tenno has determined that the geometric distribution of enemies in any weapon battle is statistically a predictable element. The Focus Natas treats the Warframe as a total weapon.
Equilibrium.
Each fluid position representing a maximum kill zone, inflicting maximum damage on the maximum number of opponents while keeping the defender clear of the statistically traditional trajectiles of return fire. By the rote mastery of these focus schools, your killing efficiency will rise by no less than 120%. The difference of a 63% increase to focus proficiency makes the Grand Master of the Focus Natas an adversary not to be taken lightly.
I know we've had Equilibrium before, but I'm damn well sure it's not that.
We haven't, actually. Or it's not, or...
I don't think we've had it before.
I've been lazy about putting my things over there as well, but it's not on the list.
No, it would have been freaking years ago if we did.
It's not in there then. Because we've got the freaking years and stuff in there. It says like the last year's worth that's missing. Unless it's in your one.
Have a quick look. Plus. What? No. Do it. Quotes. Oh, maybe not.
It's exactly. It's one of these things that we just assume we must have done that by now, and it's like we apparently haven't.
How do you spell equilibrium?
EQUI. EQUILIBRIUM.
No, not done it.
Yeah?
Not on my list. And my list goes back from like episode 50.
Wow.
So, yeah. Fair enough. Cool. Right. Well, that was an excellent quote. Good job. And that's it for this week's 10 o'clock. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, and all that. Like, I'd be amazed if you haven't already, considering you've gotten this far. And yeah, we will see you next week. I think we're planning on still releasing an episode for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, should be fun. Yeah.
And yeah, so have a good week. I hope you enjoy Railjack. I'll see you next week.
Do put your feedback in the comments, guys. It's going to be interesting to see what people say.
Wait. There we go. Cool. No. I put it on the end slate now.
Oh. So they can still hear us.
Yeah.
Right.
I did it wrong. I put
what are you going to name your Railjack?
USS Torpedo Loz. He hangs his head in shame.